Google Earth to GPS made easy with the EarthNC Trip and Route tool. Welcome to the EarthNC Trip and Route tool tutorial. With the Trip and Route tool, you can easily create, edit, and share boating trips using EarthNC's unique Google Earth nautical data. With support for the GPX file format and Garmin Communicator API, uploading your trips to external GPS devices is a snap. To get started, download the EarthNC Trip and Route Google Earth file from earthnc.com. Open this file in Google Earth. Once loaded, you'll see a new folder in your Places menu called EarthNC Trip and Route Tool. Inside is a sample trip folder, a link to the GPS export component of the Trip and Route tool, and a link to this video tutorial. Let's use the sample trip to ensure that everything is working correctly for GPS export. To do so, we first click on the GPS export link in our Places folder. This will open a web browser window, either the Google Earth internal browser or an external browser depending on your Google Earth settings, and load the EarthNC GPS export control. For this tutorial, we've chosen to have Google Earth open web content in its internal browser. To export the sample trip, we right-click over the sample trip folder in the Places menu and choose Copy. Then we right-click over the white input box in the GPS export control and select Paste. Next, click on Convert Trip to GPX. After a few seconds, two new buttons will appear, Send to Garmin and Download GPX. The Download GPX button will create a GPX file of your route. GPX is a standard GPS waypoint exchange file format that most GPS manufacturers support with their waypoint and route management software. If you have a Garmin USB GPS, you can send your trip directly to the device using the Send to Garmin button. This option requires the one-time installation of the Garmin Communicator plugin. The Communicator plugin is compatible with both PC and Macintosh computers. If the plugin is not already installed on your machine, clicking the Send to Garmin button will take you to the Garmin website to download and install it. Once the plugin is installed, connect your Garmin device, power it on, and click on Send to Garmin. On the first send, the EarthNC export control will ask your permission to communicate with your Garmin GPS. We do not attempt to read waypoint information from your device. Click Yes to grant permission, and after a few seconds you will get a Trip Uploaded Successfully message. Your waypoints, routes, and tracks will be visible in their respective menus on the GPS and can be selected for display and use. Now that GPS export is set up, we will demonstrate creating your own trip. Return to Google Earth and right-click on the EarthNC Trip and Route Tool folder. Select Add Folder. Name this folder something descriptive for your trip and click OK. You can now populate this folder with waypoints, routes, and polygons using Google Earth's built-in tools. To create a waypoint, or placemark as called in Google Earth, use the Placemark Creation tool. With the Edit dialog open, you can left-click and drag the placemark anywhere on the map. Name the placemark with a unique descriptive name. This name will be used for the GPS display. If desired, you can even select a different icon for display in Google Earth. To create a waypoint from a chart object, right-click on the object in the map window. Select Copy, right-click on your trip folder, and select Paste. You may wish to rename the copied waypoint and can do so by right-clicking the new waypoint in your Places menu and select Rename. To create a route, or path as called in Google Earth, click on the Add Path tool. Construct your path by left-clicking at each turning point on the map. Use the Google Earth navigation menu in the upper right of the screen to move the map as necessary while the Route tool is open. You can adjust nodes in the route by left-clicking and dragging over any node point. To delete a node, right-click over it. Assign each path line a unique descriptive name. You can use the Style menu in the Properties dialog to change the color and width of the path in Google Earth. Finally, you can also create polygons to mark an area to fish, an area to avoid, etc. Start your polygon with the Add Polygon tool. Left-click to create nodes in the polygon, then assign a unique name. You can change the color, fill, and width display settings in the Polygon Style menu. When you've finished your trip, right-click, copy your trip folder, and paste it into the GPS export field as we did with the sample previously. Convert it to GPX for export as a GPX file or send it to your Garmin. To edit your trip, make your changes in Google Earth, recopy your trip folder, paste it into the GPS export control, and click on Convert Trip to GPX again. In the case of Garmin GPS units, waypoints and routes with the same name will be replaced in this step. We'll show you now how to save and share your trips with Google Earth. To keep your trips permanently in Google Earth, you can right-click the EarthNC trip folder and select Save to My Places. This will cause it to load automatically with Google Earth in the future. To save the file without storing it to My Places, right-click on the folder and select Save As. Choose a location on your hard drive and select a name. To share a trip, you can right-click your trip folder and select Email. Select your preferred email software and then provide recipient addresses. For additional control over the GPS conversion process, you can change the default options in the GPS export tool. By default, the export tool converts Google Earth place marks to waypoints, paths to routes, and polygons to tracks. To create a route with individually named turn points, rather than sequentially numbered points, you can use an ordered set of place marks and change the point conversion option to route. Paths and polygons can be converted to either routes or tracks. In Garmin devices, routes can be activated for navigation, but are limited to 256 turn points. Tracks can have up to 10,000 points for display, but cannot be activated for navigation. For long trips, you can break your overall route into smaller route segments to avoid the route point limitation. Remember that Google Earth, EarthNC, and other charting products are subject to error, and that waterways continually change due to environmental factors. Use of the routing tool is at your own risk and should not be used as the sole means of navigation or planning. We hope you found this video helpful. Please visit the EarthNC forum for additional information, or feel free to contact us directly via our online contact form for help or feedback.